Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is a video of updates. So I know that I think the last updates video might have been a June, maybe I did a June updates, I can't remember, but this is going to be an updates video, partially because we've been out of town for a little while, and I want to show you some changes that have occurred with my plants indoor and outdoor. So without further ado, let's get on with it. All right, so the first update that I have for you is my Monstera Thai constellation plant has finally opened its newest leaf, and you can see it is gorgeous. It is highly variegated, and yeah, I just can't tell you how beautiful I think that leaf is. So it is still hardening off, and hopefully it will get a little bit bigger. So yeah, this is my Thai constellation plant, and that's just one of the positive updates. This is my variegated peace lily, and when we came back from our vacation, this is how it looked. It was in dire need of water, and in the last 12 hours or so, I don't really see too much improvement. So I'm gonna let this plant just try to recover. Obviously I've watered it, but if I can't see any improvement from this, what I will do is cut off the foliage and see if it will restart from the roots and just come from the base of it. So we'll see. I'll keep you updated. This is my jet diamond peace lily, being very dramatic, and maybe some of the leaves will recover. I'll let you know. All right, back to a positive update. This is my Anthurium radicans crossed with luxurians, and it has put out this beautiful new leaf. This is so wonderful. I love that reddish pink color of the new leaf. So this plant is still living its best life, and it did well while I was away. And for those people who may wonder, I did leave my plant lights on, or basically they're LEDs. I did leave them on when I was gone. So they have been getting light 24 hours a day while I was not here. This is my giraffe tree euphorbia, and you can see it is losing some leaves. So it's been losing some leaves since I've been gone. It looks like it has maybe like 5 leaves that are coming off, see? But this is the growth habit of this plant. It only keeps leaves at the top. And I can see it has 2 brand new leaves up at the top of the plant. So the old leaves are dying off, but it is growing some new leaves. All right, so this is my Anthurium red crystallinum, and right here you can see that this plant while I was gone has started to push out a brand new leaf. So this is very exciting because Anthuriums, for me, in my care, they don't just push leaves out every day. They always take a long time to push new leaves out. So I'm very excited that finally this new leaf here that has been trying to form for a while has decided to start opening up. So that's a nice surprise to come back home to. You might have also noticed that I still have the plastic around the trunk of this Anthurium, and every now and then I do take that plastic off to check on it. Last time I checked, it did have some new roots growing in there, so I'm still watering it to keep the moss moist, to help stimulate root growth and to help better support the plant. So if you were wondering what this plastic is, that's what it is. I just kind of did something similar to air layering, but I just put plastic and moss around here a few months ago just to see if that would help to have the plant grow more leaves and more roots, and it seems to be working. So I want you to be able to see the Hoya undulata. So let me see if I can angle it. All right, so right there is the Hoya undulata. And before I left for my vacation, it had started growing a new tendril. And now it has put on a new leaf. So, all right, so I pulled it off the shelf so you can see it better. You can see it has this long tendril, and it has a leaf that has turned yellow on this side. So I'm assuming that's going to be a dud, but this one is growing nicely, and I'm hoping that I can get some more leaves off this tendril. I see some that are forming right there, and then it's still growing here. So the way I'm growing this plant is that it's on a heat mat. The grower that sold me this said that it does need to have a nice warm environment, like 75 degrees or higher. So that's what I'm giving this plant so that it can do its best with growing. All right, here is one of my Hoya pupacalyx plants, and this is actually one that I got when we were on vacation. Maybe it was 2 years ago, and I just repotted it into this mug a little while ago. So now it's actually starting to grow. I'm seeing right here now, this plant has a few aphids on it, so I'm going to be treating the plant for that. But this plant has gone through some changes. It has had a few pests in the couple of years that I've had it, so it hasn't really grown. And I had it in a really small pot because I liked the pot and I wanted the plant to stay in there. It was just really stupid. So anyway, finally it's able to grow and to live its best life. This is I think the red Hawaiian Hoya pupacalyx. So it is doing well, and it is has done well since we were away. This plant is one of my Hoya croniana plants, and when I came back, it was very, very shriveled, and the leaves, like one leaf just fell off, it looks like. No, maybe that was, I don't know what that was. Maybe it was water. But this plant, it still has a lot of really thin leaves on it. And I feel like with this one, you have to get the watering just right. The same with my super silver. So both of these had lost some leaves when I came back from vacation. But these tend to be the ones that I have to keep my eye on anyway. So I don't know if you can tell. Yeah, right there you can see how shriveled that is. So I might end up having to chop this plant up if it doesn't get better. But I do feel like overnight it has gotten better, and it has kind of been in a shriveled state before, unfortunately. So I'm not that worried about it. I feel some that are have their nice thickness that they're supposed to have, so I don't think that this plant will be a total loss. I'm hoping not. But it's similar plant, which is this croniana here. I'm not gonna pick this one up. It to me seems like it might be in a worse state than this one. So we'll see. I really love this super silver, but I don't know the way it looks, I don't know if that's gonna survive. Now, here is my Hoya species affinity caudata, and this is a very thirsty plant. And while I was gone, you can see it got a few yellow leaves. I feel like I just put this plant in this pot with this mix, and it's enjoying it. Like, it grows very well, but it dries really quickly. Like it, and it could be the slits in the pot that help it to dry out fast. I guess I would rather that than it to be sitting in water. But I'm also thinking that I might up pot this plant because there's a lot of foliage here, and maybe it might just need more soil, especially how it dried up some when I was gone. So I'm pulling off a few dead leaves now as I'm talking to you. So we'll see. I'll watch this plant and see what it does, but I'm thinking I might upsize this pot a little bit to help it be less thirsty. But it didn't fare too badly when I was gone. It lost a few leaves, and I'm thinking that this one is going to be okay. All right, so now I'm trying to think of what else did I notice right away when I got home. I know down here on the floor you can't see this. I'll try to grab it. My Thanksgiving cactus here. I need to give this some water. It is very, it has some shriveled leaves to it. It's growing nicely. It has some new growth, but since I've been gone, it has gotten very shriveled, or some of the sections are shriveling up. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a little bit of water now. So this is a plant that I got when I was on vacation. I did a very short video of this nursery that is on Hatteras, and I'll go ahead and put the name of that in the description, and I'll do a separate video on that. But this is a Hoya australis, and I don't have a Hoya australis. Well, I do have a Hoya australis, but it seems like it's a different variety than this one, than just the regular small leaf green one. And mine is a lighter, kind of like a chartreuse green with a big leaf on it. So this to me is the regular Hoya australis, and I just picked this up at the nursery down at Hatteras Island. And I used to have one that I grew out really big from this size, and something happened to it and it just died. So I couldn't save it. It might have been mealies or something, but at any rate, I'm going to try again because this is really good and fast grower. So I look forward to growing this one out. So now, since you've seen these updates, I think what I'm going to do is take you out to the front porch, show you the plants that are out there. And mind you, I did bring in a lot of those plants because I knew they wouldn't survive not having any water. So I bought them inside, except for some of the big ones or the cacti and things. So I'll show you that, and I will show you the vegetable garden so you can see those updates. All right, one other update before I head outside. This is one of my Maranta, my green Maranta plant, and it really needs to be cut now. I have a lot of dead foliage on it, so it did dry out a lot. We had some temperatures that were really extreme while I was gone. It was like over 100, like 103 degrees and all that kind of foolishness. So this plant did not do well. It's right near the sliding glass door and was probably receiving a lot of heat that it wasn't used to. Also, my Silverman is right here, struggling for survival. So we'll see. I'll cut that back. I may end up putting this plant in a smaller pot because it's been having some issues even before I went away on vacation. The plants over on this shelf didn't really suffer, I don't think. They're growing well. I had thought that my Hoya Bella would have some issues while I was gone. I gave it a thorough watering before I left, and it seemed okay. And this is my Hoya obovata. It did get dry, but it still seems okay. I gave it some water. And a lot of the things on the shelf, I just gave water to. Excuse me, Jake. And one of my orchids here opened up 2 more blooms, whereas this bloom stem here needs to be trimmed back. It has finally died off, and it has a leaf that has died off, which is normal. That doesn't have anything to do with me being away. And this new orchid leaf is growing beautifully. So those are some updates on the plant shelf. I do have my Hoya GPS Sulawesi 8869. I know I said that in the wrong order. It's back here on the shelf. I may later take that down so that you can see how it is doing, because it is still having a major growth spurt also. Okay, I've made it outside to my front porch, and here is my large burgundy rubber plant, and it did stay out here when I was on vacation. You can see it's still doing okay. It has some new growth at the top. As I stated in one of my previous videos, this plant did suffer sunburn more than it has in the past when I've put it outside, and little by little I've been removing the sunburned leaves, so it's been doing well. And this is my ruby Ficus elastica, and it is doing really well. You can see it has some new growth where leaves have come off, so it's doing pretty good. Now over here, this is my crown of thorns. This is one plant I did bring inside, and I had it in the garage when I was gone. You can see that some of the blooms that came out when I was on vacation are white. It does have some leaves that are going to end up falling off because of lack of water and light, but it's still doing well. I'll pull those off. And this is my Adenium obesum. It lost its leaves while I was gone, and it is growing a new bloom right here. My Gloxinia went into full bloom mode when I was gone. And these were all very droopy when I got back yesterday, but they're reviving. And this is my Rojo Congo, getting a little sun scorch. It has one leaf that needs to come off, but it has a new leaf that has opened. My Ghost Euphorbia is growing up to the top, and it needs to be moved from this spot because it's really growing. This is my variegated Euphorbia. Loved its life while I was gone. And my snake plant has some new baby snakes coming up. And this is fig, my fiddle leaf fig tree. And it did very well while I was gone. I need to adjust it because it's growing out toward the light. A rickrack cactus is growing some new growth. It has a couple down here at the bottom that need to be cut off, but it's doing well. And these cacti that I let stay out here in Ripsalis, they're doing well also. And you can see my domino cactus is growing more blooms on it. And I'm not sure, I think that's a baby popping out on that one. I don't think that's a bloom. But everything out here seems to be doing fine. So this is my outside garden, and we set the sprinkler timer so that it will get sprinkled for 30 minutes while we were gone. And this is zucchini. That one needs to be taken off. The corn, you can see they're growing. And there's a zucchini there that needs to be removed because it's really big. I'll have to make that into like a stuffed zucchini. So this is a better view of the zucchini. There's a squash bug right there. The nemesis of people who like to grow squash. I can see the vine borer got into this plant also. So I'm about to remove the squash plants because it's time to plant more. So this is the spaghetti squash vine, and it is over for it. It has done its job, and I have some spaghetti squash on here. I'll remove those and then just remove this vine. Time to grow something else. This is the kale bed. I have some garlic chives down there, and it's one zucchini plant here and some old turnip greens also. Over in this bed there's tomato plants that are Cherokee purple. I think I see one that's already turned here. Let's see. Oh, there's a small one down in here. Oh, I think I'm too late for this one. Let's see if I can get it. Yeah, this one had blossom end rot. So sometimes the first few may get that, but usually it ends up that I don't have to do anything special for them to not get it blossom end rot. They just change on their own. And these are sponge gourds growing. These are ready to be harvested. And then spaghetti squash, I'll end up having to remove this vine also because it is old. There's some more tomatoes in there that aren't ripe yet. And from this angle, you can see some more spaghetti squash there growing. So it's time to remove that vine. This is an empty bed where the potatoes used to be. And there is another giant zucchini that I need to remove. So here are some of my plants that I left outside when I was gone. Mathematophyllum is still doing well. It has a couple of leaves that are on their way out, but that's normal for this plant. That's how the trunks form when the old leaves die. And a couple plants hanging in the trees here, a Hoya and Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. One of my begonias is out here, and this is a begonia that I'm bringing back. I cut it all the way back to the soil. You see it has a few new leaves there growing. This is one of my snake plants, Brentianum, I think it is. And my white poinsettia, which basically only has a little bit more white left on it. It's really enjoying living outside. This is my mother plant of my Begonia maculata that has some so cute new foliage on it. I just cut it back and the cuttings are inside in a vase. And this is my white knight that is enjoying its life outside. And my calathea medallion is coming back from the dead after I chopped it back to the soil. Thanks everybody for joining me for another plant video. I hope that you've enjoyed what you've seen. Please give it a thumbs up and share it. Please subscribe to my channel if you like this kind of content. I will see you all around on the next one. Bye.